Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is super exciting because I will be sharing with you guys my first ever luxury unboxing on my channel. So these are my first luxury purchases of 2020 so far, and there are 3 items that I will be sharing with you guys. The first 2 are going to be true unboxings. I haven't actually even seen these items in person yet. And then the last of the 3 is something that I received in the mail around 2 weeks ago and I have already opened. But I do have some initial thoughts and first impressions on this item that I wanted to tell you guys about. So that's why I'm including it in this video. If you're new here and you like luxury unboxing videos, do consider subscribing to my channel because I will definitely be making more of these in the future. And as a bit of a spoiler, there might be a bag from Dior that I will be purchasing very, very soon. So when I do, I will definitely do an unboxing of that on my channel. So stay tuned for that and let's get into the video. The first item is something that I purchased from Dior. So last weekend, I actually went to the Dior boutique to take a look at this item and try on the different sizes so I could figure out which one I should get. But they didn't have this specific item available in any size. So what I did was I tried on the sizes of a very similar item and I actually just told them to order this for me from a different store and ship it to me because I wanted to film this video today and I wouldn't be able to make a stop at the boutique until like 2 weeks from now. So I've never actually seen this item before and I'm very excited to see what it looks like in person because I've only ever seen photos of this online. So I'm unwrapping the ribbon and here's a closer look at the box. So inside the box, there's this Dior sticker on it that's upside down. And then I'm just going to take this out completely. And then here, there's this Dior dust bag. And inside the dust bag is this 30 Montaigne belt. I was never really interested in belts until recently. I know that the Gucci GG belt is very popular and has been very popular for years now, but it never really appealed to me. And I think part of the reason was because, you know, it doesn't really look like a belt buckle. It obviously looks like there's the GG logo on it. What I really liked about this specific belt buckle is, yes, it does say Christian Dior on it, the CD over here, but it's symmetrical, right? So basically it kind of still looks like a belt buckle. So if you knew that this was kind of like the 30 Montaigne logo that Dior is doing, then you would know that this is a belt from Dior. But other than that, it kind of just looks like a normal belt buckle. So even after this whole logo mania thing goes away, it wouldn't look like, I guess, a little outdated at all, which unfortunately, I kind of feel like that's what's happening with the Gucci belt. It's just become so overdone that I think people are kind of moving towards different belts now. So this specific 30 Montaigne belt is in a width of 35 centimeters and I got it in the size 75 centimeters. So I think I might have to add an extra hole punch into it, which when I was at the boutique, the sales associate did say that they would be able to do that for me. So this belt cost $750 US, and my sales associate told me that this is the second time they're releasing it and it's still flying off the shelves, which is basically the reason why they didn't have any in stores for me to look at when I went there. So I'm definitely very glad that I was able to pick this up because I do have a tendency of missing out on some very hard to get items that I really want. So on first look, I really do like this. I really like how the buckle here is in gold and the leather is very, very smooth and soft. And of course, I do like the symmetry and the belt buckle, and I'm so excited to style this in many different ways. Next is this Valentino box. I purchased this because I have to admit, I was afraid that it was going to sell out because I got this off of Farfetch. And when I looked at the item, it said that they only had one left of each size. So in total, there was only 3 more of this item left. So I figured, I'll just get it. And if I like it, I'll keep it. But if I really don't, then I'll send it back. And at least that way, I won't have any regrets about it. So what I have in here is actually, you'll see. And you'll probably be like, really, another one? So in here, if I could open the box, is this dust bag. And then back here is, I guess, like the care instructions or something. Not really sure. I'll take a look at that later. Inside the dust bag is, you're really going to be like, are you serious? So it's another belt. So yes, I know that I just said that I never really used to like belts, and I literally am unboxing 2 belts at the same time. So the reason why I also decided to pick this up is because the color combination of this is so different than, of course, a black belt. So this will go with a lot of my outfits, of course, because I do tend to wear a lot of blacks, but I figured I would probably wear this more in the summertime because it's a lighter color. And this belt is actually also reversible. So on one side, it's this light pink color. And then on the opposite side, it's sort of like a taupey gray. This cost 525 US dollars. And because it is reversible, it actually is a better value than this Dior belt right here. The width of this belt is 40 millimeters, so it's 5 millimeters more than the Dior belt. And on first glance, they actually just look like they're the same width, but let me just quickly put them up one behind the other so we can see how much bigger it actually is. So yeah, there is a little bit of a difference in width to it. So if you can kind of see here, you can see a little bit of the pink peeking out, which is due to the 5 millimeter difference in width, where the Valentino one is 5 millimeters thicker. And it also comes with these 2 belt loops right here, one for each color of the belt. What I said before was that I liked when the belt buckle was symmetrical, so it doesn't look like you're just wearing a giant designer logo on it. But this one, it's very clearly a V. So I guess in a way, it is just clearly the Valentino logo, but I think it's a little bit more subtle because it does kind of just have this rectangular shape that is sort of like rounded on the sides. So from far away, it does still look like a belt buckle. Or am I just trying to convince myself that this is not just a walking advertisement for a designer? So let me know in the comments down below what you think. So after I placed my order for this belt, I was trying to think of ways to justify this purchase. And I know that sounds really awful, but especially since I'm buying 2 designer belts at the same time and I've never owned any before, I was just trying to think if there was a way for me to really justify having the specific belt, because I was kind of dead set on keeping the Dior belt to begin with without even seeing it. So I was thinking, wait a second, I have a bag that the taupey gray color would really match with. So this is my Fendi Peekaboo in the dove gray color. And I was thinking maybe that color on the belt would match perfectly with this. And that could be a reason for me to keep the belt. So let's see if it really does match. And I think it's a little different, but kind of similar. So I guess showing it next to each other, it kind of does look very similar, but I think this has more of a sort of warm undertone to it, whereas this color does kind of lean a little on the pinky side. I'll have to try this out more and see if it really makes sense in my wardrobe before I decide to cut off the tags and keep it. The last item is something from Strathberry. And this item actually came in a box, but I've since gotten rid of the box because I've decided that I'm going to be keeping this. So inside the dust bag is not another belt, I promise. And it's actually this little mini bag, which is the Strathberry Nano Tote. So it also comes in gold hardware, and it's actually very surprising that everything I'm unboxing today is gold hardware. I do like both silver and gold hardware, but it just so happens that everything today is in gold. So it has this little bar, which is very common of Strathberry bags. And then you just pop this over the handle. And then there's this magnetic opening to open the bag. And then inside it comes with this chain strap that's detachable. And then the chain strap has this leather piece at the top here, so it's more comfortable. And then I just kept this tissue paper in there just to make sure that the bag keeps its shape. And then inside, it's not that big at all. And it's mostly one open spot. And then there is just this one open compartment down here. And then I think it's probably lined in what feels like a sort of microfiber lining. So I really do like the bag as a whole. I think it looks very cute, and I think it'll be a great bag to use in spring and summer, especially since blue is such a popular color this year. But I do have a few complaints about it already. Not enough for me to not want the bag. It's just little nitpicky things here and there. But I wanted to just mention it to you in case it might be a deal breaker for you if you're considering this bag. So this bar right here, it does kind of rub right against the leather when you lift it to open it or when you're putting it back. So it kind of just pushes against the leather. And this handle here does have to bend every time you're opening or closing it. So I'm not sure what the long-term effects of that would be. Plus, these two leather pieces on the side that's connecting the bar, it kind of sits right against this handle here. So again, when you're opening or closing it, that's kind of also rubbing against the handle too. So I don't know if there's going to be wear and tear along these leather strips as well as the handle. So that's something to keep in mind. Also, I don't think this bag fits that much at all. If you look on the side over here, it is the sort of triangular shape. So it's very narrow at the top. And that's because the bag kind of comes together and there's this magnetic closure. So it doesn't have that much space to it at all. And if you look at the sides, it kind of like also folds inwards as you go towards the top. So yes, this is a mini bag, and I don't think I'll be carrying much in there at all. But I do wish that it had a little more capacity just in case. So those are my two main complaints about this bag. And there's also a third thing that I wanted to mention, and it's kind of minor compared to those two other things. But this third thing that I wanted to mention is I did say that the chain is removable and it connects using these two clasps onto these rings on the bag. But this clasp is very hard to open wide enough to slip it through and out of the rings. If you're just like struggling to even open this wide enough, and maybe I'm just weak, but okay, I'm going to give up on this. Just take my word for it. I think like if you're trying to struggle that much to open it, it's just too much work. And I think like it might not bother some people if they just want to keep the chain attached at all times. But I do like to detach the chain from my bags if I'm not using them. So that is something that I wish was easier to do, because if a bag offers a certain option to it, I do want to be able to take advantage of it whenever I want to. So yeah, that's just something that I wanted to mention. But this bag is definitely not nearly as expensive as a lot of the other things that I own. So that's why I am going to keep this bag, because I think for the price, it's still really worth it. I probably wouldn't be getting a color like this in a very expensive bag like something from Chanel or Dior to begin with. So I am happy that I got this for a much more affordable price. You know, even if I only wear it for the spring and summer, I definitely think that I would have gotten enough use out of it. And by no means am I saying that this is just something that I'm going to be wearing for 1 or 2 seasons and never again. But I do think that the spring and summer is when I'm going to be wearing it the absolute most. That concludes my first luxury unboxing on my channel. And this was really fun filming, so I definitely hope you enjoyed it, because I'm not going to lie, it took a lot of self-control to not just rip into these boxes when they first came in the mail. I wanted to have a genuine reaction when I unboxed it with you guys. So if you like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up and let me know which of these 3 items that I unboxed today was your favorite. And do you think I should keep the Valentino belt? Also, let me know if you're thinking of purchasing any of these items yourself, or what is on your 2020 luxury wish list. I have to say that I don't really have a set wish list for the year. I kind of just think that I'm going to see what comes out, and if anything kind of speaks to me before purchasing it, instead of having a set list that I'm going to prioritize. So when and if I do more unboxings, it's going to be maybe a shock to you guys. It might be a shock to me also. So stay tuned for more of my videos. I do upload a new video every Thursday. And for now, bye!